Hey everybody, hey. It's been a while since you've seen me, but guess what? I'm back. And today is Eboni Deloise Douglas. It would be her 29th birthday. Today, for those of you that don't know me, I started Empowering Life After Loss because my daughter was killed in 2012 in a car accident after me and my husband dropped her off at college. So today, in honor of her 29th birthday, I wanted to make a video just to go down memory lane because I feel like this year everything has come full circle. And I say that because my oldest daughter, Eboni, went to PVAMU for nursing in 2012. She was killed within 2 weeks of her being there. Her younger sister, Paige Douglas, decided to go to PVAMU in 2019. And my youngest daughter graduated from PVAMU this year from the nursing program. So I feel like Eboni started, but Paige finished it. So let's begin this journey of what's been going on within the last 10 years that Eboni passed. And my channel is all about living after your loss. It's not easy. You don't get over it. I cried all day yesterday making this video because it brought up so many memories, and I had to pull old videos, and I cried and I cried, and I was like, man, this is so difficult. And it's been since 2012. So I still have my very hard days, but I do have respites in my grief, and I thank God for that. But here is my journey. Here's Paige's journey. And let's celebrate Eboni today, October 22nd. She will be 29 years old today. I hope you enjoy. Eboni graduated in 2012 from Mansfield High School, and she decided that she wanted to go to a HBCU, which is a historically black university and college, because we moved to Mansfield when Eboni was in about the 3rd grade, and most of her classes were predominantly white. So when she went to college, she said, Mom, I want to go to a school with people that look like me. I've been around white people all my life. I want to go with people that look like me. So August the 18th, 2012, we went to PVAMU. This is our last picture that we took right before she died. I remember because it was my brother's birthday. We had all went out to eat because his birthday was a day before move-ins, which was August the 19th. We moved her in her dorm, packed her in her dorm. That's her dorm. And we said goodbye. And within 12 days, she was
That's
dead.
my baby going to PV
Going
today.
forward, Paige also went to Mansfield High School. Mansfield High School, they sponsored a trip of tour of the HBCUs. So they picked 5 students from each school to go on the tour, and they took them on a tour of the HBCUs, and that was Paige on the bus with her friends going to visit PVAMU her senior year, 2019. Also, her senior year was 2019. She decided, too, that she also wanted to go to PV. We had went to PV with Eboni. We had moved her in the dorm, and her and Eric just really liked the vibe and the feel when they were there. So she's like, Mom, I want to go to PV also, which was very hard, but I did let her go. Moving forward, we did the Summer Bridge program in 2019. That's a program that PV holds where your student can take 2 college courses. They move in the dorm. They live in the dorm room with their roommate. They get the college experience. And they also take 2 college courses while they're there to go towards whatever degree that they're trying to get, whether that be nursing, engineering, or those types of programs. They can take 2 classes to go towards their degree. Paige also did dual credit courses. So when she took the 2 courses in the summer, that made her a sophomore at PVAMU. This is a picture of the dorms, and I can't remember exactly how much we paid, but we didn't pay anything for the classes. We didn't pay anything for the books. I think we might have had to pay maybe $200 for her to move into the dorm. This was a dorm. Those were pictures before. This is pictures of the dorm after we decorated. With my husband put a headboard on her bed, just tried to make her really at home. And she was there in the summer at PV taking her 2 classes towards college. It was very organized. They had a schedule. They ate lunch together. They went to the library together. They had study time together. Paige met some very good friends during this time. Some of those people she went to nursing school with. Some of them are still in school. But it was a good way to expose your child to college life for the first time without being at home. I think it gives them an idea of how difficult college is, and it's not easy, and it's not something that they're just gonna wheeze through like they did in high school. So it was a good experience for her to get to do that. We moved her in, me, my husband, my son. That's a picture of us. Of course, PV, it's a family environment. They had snow cones the day of the movie. They had, this guy was skating. I think he's actually Mr. PV right now. It was just a good time. PV just gives a good
so
time.
Fucking good,
That's Paige
bro. Like,
outside of the dormitory.
I don't get it anymore.
Friends. Of course, also Maurice was there. That's my baby, my son. That's not my son. Him and Paige have grown up together. The first semester of school, they teach them a PV shuffle. It's a dance for your class. This is a shuffle for the class of 2022. We went to Parents Weekend and the team showed me their shuffle. I'm going to do that. Everything is just really a family. And PV makes everything a good time. So when they hear this song with any activity, they do their shuffle. So they do it for each class has their own shuffle. If you do your song, you do your shuffle if you're on the yard or you're this is a dance that they do. That was very neat. They teach me that the first semester of school, they give us something to do when they're being exposed to the campus. And a lot of the people that Paige she continued to stay friends with them throughout the program. We moved her back in fall 2019. She actually had to move into a different dorm room, but we kind of did the same thing to her room when she moved back in. Then COVID hit, and so she had to come home, but we went back again fall 2021. She stayed at the square. This is pictures of the square. The square is known, back then it was known as the honors dormitory. You had to have a certain GPA to be able to live within the square. I think University Square now is a freshman dormitory. But this was very good for Paige because in the dorm, she shared her bathroom and she was in one room with a twin-size bed with another roommate. This was more where they just shared the living quarters. So they shared the kitchen, the living room, but she had her own bathroom and her own bedroom. So she had time where she could be to herself and someone wasn't in her space 24/7, which some students do well with that, but my kids do better when they have some alone time. This is just kind of her dorm after we decorated it. We did her bathroom. I did her living room, just tried to make it very homey for her so she could be comfortable at home, away from home. Bought stuff in the kitchen for her to cook because she likes to cook. Sometimes PV's lunchroom wasn't always open. This is a picture of her room. Kind of the same decoration, but she did get a full-size bed this time instead of a twin-size bed. So it was more room, and it was more like an apartment than a dorm where you're in the same room with everybody. PV does very well with their housing. The upkeep of the landscape is great. It's just really, really nice. And some of the things that you hear, it's totally different when you go on campus. After we lived in the square, of course, PV at the time did not have housing for nursing. So we had to move Paige downtown Houston, and we chose to move in District 28. This is her apartment at District 28. PV does have housing for nurses now. At the time, you had to get housing for your student because the School of Nursing is downtown Houston. It's not in Prairie View. So this was her apartment that we chose, District 28. She did stay here until the end of the nursing program. So she was within close proximity of the nursing school. She was in close proximity of the medical district. Her apartments would bus her to the hospital. We chose this place because it felt safe for us, and I felt like I didn't have to worry about her when she was there. And these are just pictures of her apartment after we decorated it, and it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And we chose at that time not to do a roommate with nursing, just so she could have her time, she could study, and not have someone else in her space at all times. This is just a picture of Paige outside of the nursing school. And hey, semester 5, that's a big deal at PB when you make it to semester 5. It's your last semester, so they give them a big party, celebrate them, do all the things. In semester 5, I started getting her ready for graduation. I bought her that hat you just saw. This is some of Paige's grades. You have to make a 75 to pass, which is very stressful for your student. If you are a parent with a nursing student, make sure you check on your student, check on their mental health. It is very stressful. The program is stressful. They go through a lot. These are just screenshots of her always sending me her grades. They also have a ceremony for the nurses called pinning. Pinning is a ceremony that's dedicated to celebrate the nurses and their accomplishments. It's not graduation, but family can come to the pinning ceremony. The pinning ceremony at Prairie View was very different than what I was used to. As many of you know, I am a nurse and I am a nurse practitioner. Most pinning ceremonies, you choose someone to pin you, and they pin you. The announcer reads your special speech to the person that's pinning you. That person gets to pin you. It was very different at PV's pinning ceremony, but it was still intimate. We were able to invite people. Some of my aunts are not in the best health, so they were able to come to this ceremony in case they weren't able to walk and do those types of things. Before the ceremony, the nursing students, that most of the time they choose a significant person in their life to dedicate the pen to. This could be a faculty member, a close friend, a family member. Normally the individual will follow the graduate onto the stage where they will be given the pen and place it on the graduate. During that process, like I said, most of the time faculty members will read the dedication from the student to the significant person. This can be an emotional portion of the ceremony. Students and attendees, it's very personal. At my graduation, I like the pinning better than I like the actual graduation. This is just pictures of all the people that came to support Paige during that process. My aunts, my uncles, my husband, my mom's friends. Everybody was just very excited for her because this was a big accomplishment. It's very hard to get through a nursing program. And sometimes if you have not been to nursing school, you just don't understand the rigor and everything that comes with nursing school. This is just Paige with some of her friends, with her grandma. This is her with one of her favorite professors. I just took pictures of her and her friends, just enjoying the moment, absorbing the moment of all of her accomplishments and all the things that she's done. And everybody, it's just a big moment of celebration for the graduates, for the family, and just so you can say, good job, great job, Paige, you did this. And these are just some photos that I took of her during the ceremony and of her friends. She was standing, they were telling them to get up, so she was posing once she realized that I was taking the pictures. And then, yay, we get to the day, graduation. We made commencements. I did get her a photographer in Houston. He met us at PV, took some pictures of Paige, and oh my God, the graduation. The parking, getting into the graduation. This is like the graduation was at 8:30. That was like at 7:30 in the morning. The cars were already back packed up. You could barely get off the exit. We stayed down the street in Waller at a hotel that I booked approximately a year before Paige's graduation. They didn't know if they were going to have the graduation inside, outside. Some graduates had tickets, some graduates did not. So it was a big fiasco because some people were able to get in to see their graduates, some people were not, which I've never seen anything like this, but it was a big deal. I'm just happy that I was able to see my daughter graduate, and I feel sorry for the parents that did not get to see their kid after all of that hard work. But this is just pictures of Paige and her friends sitting in the audience. There were people from other countries, from Belize, that were there that were not able to get into the baby dome, is where they ended up having the actual graduation. Initially, we were supposed to be outside, but it rained, so they moved it inside, and it was kind of come as, if you got a seat, you got a seat. If you didn't, you didn't. The tickets were null and void at this point. It didn't matter if you had a ticket. If you had a ticket, that didn't mean you got in. Once the place was to capacity, they stopped allowing people in. So some people missed this big day for their graduates. But as you can see, Paige is standing there to the side. I'm waiting for her. And I feel like, yes, this is the moment. As I stated, going full circle, this is what I wish I could have seen for Eboni, but I didn't. So I'm blessed to have seen Paige be able to do what she was able to do. And I'm just waiting for her to cross the stage and do her thing. And again, I told you, Maurice is like my son. That's Maurice also walking across the stage. And Maurice, also very proud of him. He went through tragedy during this time. His sister was killed in the middle of his graduation. So big accomplishment for him. So not only was I supporting my daughter, sometimes I don't always post, but I am constantly supporting somebody who has lost a kid and have gone through the things that I'm going through. Maurice's sister was 28 years old. She was also killed in a car accident during his time in school. And he's the one standing there hugging everybody. Just so proud of him, and a very big accomplishment for him considering everything that he went through during this time. Just tears of joy for him and his family and his mom, and just all the stress that he had while he was trying to get his degree. Love you, Mom. And I think Paige is coming up here shortly. I just kind of watched them do their thing the whole time. There's Paige actually walking off stage. She's posing. She's excited. Look at me. Okay. You did it, girl. Proud moment for me and her dad. Very proud moment. And actually, this is Paige coming up. She's about to come across the stage here in a few minutes.
Anderson, nursing. Paige Douglas.
Okay, you better do that, girl. All that hard work, okay? Yes. These are just pictures of the graduation. Of course, we finished the graduation. We went outside. We took pictures with Paige. It was rainy that day. It did, and probably about 12 or 1 o'clock, the rain stopped. Of course, this is my mom, all of her sisters, my aunt and my uncle are alumni at PV, so they were very proud of her. They graduated from PV when that was one of the only schools that African American people could actually attend. We had rented out a venue in Houston to throw Paige a big graduation party so people wouldn't have to come back here to the Mansfield area to do her party. This is just one of her really close friends that helped her throughout the program, and this is the party. We got our cake from Sam's. I had got pictures of Paige. I got mints, put pictures of her around, got cookies made with nursing decoration on them, nursing decor with her name on there, had banners made with her graduation, we had gotten really creative. We had medicine bottles with candy in them, done with it all with some of the names of the medications that we had. We got the stickers off of Etsy to put on the medication bottles. We had blood bags that we had punch in. The punch did have some alcohol. We decorated the tables and the colors of the school. My uncle John Henry, he does barbecue. He catered the event. Him and his wife, which I had talked about earlier, are both alumni at PV. They catered the event. These are some of the photos that I had taken of Paige. I had put them on the candy bottles in frames. I put them on candy bars for her. These are some syringes that we filled with Jello, so they were Jello shots. Those were the blood bags. They were filled with punch and alcohol. We had put a bucket of cotton balls to make it more of the nursing theme. The tablecloths, the runners I got off of Amazon. That's my aunt and uncle that did the catering. We also had fruit there, juice. Those are the cookies. I had those made by a lady here in Arlington, Texas. The cookies were awesome. Paige is allergic to nuts, so she had made an extra batch for Paige for the cookies. She had syringes, peels. They were just so creative, so neat. It was just, she was worth every penny. This is my brother and his family there at the party. Just all the people that were there supporting Paige. Happy for Paige. Happy for her accomplishments. And like I said, this is what Eboni wanted to do. So Paige started it. Eboni started it, but Paige finished it. And of course, hey, the degree, PV does it and PV does it big. They sent it in a purple envelope. So we are videoing the degree once it came in the mail. And she's gonna open that up, show her degree, all of her accomplishments, and hey, it's a wrap. And many of you know I am a nurse. I am a nurse practitioner, so my girls are following in my footstep. I do have a doctor's degree, so I put on my cap and gown, took some pictures with my baby, and as I state, you never know who's watching. So watch what you do and who you're doing it for.